Welcome to Module 6 of this program, Business Data Analytics using Power BI. My name is Rupam and I welcome you all to the journey into the field of data analytics using Power BI. And in this module, we are going to talk about the data visualization techniques. So one of the most important section of how to churn data so that it converts into a meaningful segment or actionable line items, you can call it, right? So for this, we have a great agenda today. So let's have a look at the agenda. We are here to discuss about the visualizations, and in this module, the core section of this entire study is moving around visuals. We will see how to import custom visuals as well. We will see how to apply slicing and dicing and creating of dashboards and then data alerts and all these things we will be seeing. We will also move to an interesting part of Q&A feature, to enable Q&A feature, making a dashboard go live. Publish it actually, and then enrich the reports for usability. So those all things we will be seeing, and definitely configuring the bookmarks. So these are all the components that we are going to learn in this particular section. So let's proceed our journey. So we have options to get the regular visuals in our our Power BI. However, there are other components also. There are other kind of visuals also that can be integrated with our data. So let's have a look at some of these examples. So let's say what we are doing is we want similar kind of a look and feel, but we want to incorporate some custom visuals into our data. So what we will do is we might just go to the summary and say duplicate, so that the moment we say duplicate, so what happens is that we will have all the headings and slicers and everything intact. Now here what we can do is we can bring it over here and we say analysis, very simple analysis, but using custom visual. We will see the power of custom visuals over here. So let's take an example. I don't require all these visuals, so I just simply remove this visual, and the only thing that I required was this single section, the middle section, wherein we will be targeting to put two different visuals. The first visual that I am going to bring over here is the regular visual, which is the donut visual. So we will bring donut visual. And in the donut visual, so suppose I'm making it a bit bigger because I will be putting so much of data over here. And what we will do is in this donut visual, we will first of all bring in the revenue for sure, because that's the major section. We go and bring in total revenue, and then we start slicing and dicing this particular. So when you say slice and dice, this is what it means. So now we have 207.31k as a total revenue. Now I would like to split this based on, let's say, country. So where I am sending this. So we have customer country, we have supplier country, and ship country. So let's take an example. I want to slice and dice based on ship country. So automatically we are able to see the ship country. So where I am shipping. Now, a couple of things that we need to be aware of over here. We say format, and then we want to remove this. So we straight away say that I don't need the legend, so it becomes bigger. And then what happens is we are talking about the formatting part as well. So all these details. So we go here and say that we don't want the value and percentage. we would rather focus on the category and percentage total. So now you can see the name of the country and the percentage. Remember, we told something about the bad data. I mean bad visualization, not bad data. Sorry, it should be bad visualization, right? So we have talked about bad visualization. Now here what happens is, this is a classic example of such kind of a bad visualization. And then what we do is, we come over here and then we give the shadow our very own shadow. I mean, here we might not be focusing too much on the shadow part of it. Now here what happens is, with the country I want to bring in the product category also. So I have the category of product. So category of product, I select this and I bring in category into the next section, or let's say I bring it to the detail. If you bring it to the detail, it will look like this, but better to bring it below the country option, ship country, and then you have the category name. So what happens is, when you right click on this country, you have an option which says drill down. So you drill down this and then you see within US what are the products that we are looking into, right? So this is the actual objective of using the drill down. So we have the drill down, drill up and drill down and other things. And what we can do is, at any point of time we can right click and then say drill up. So it will go back and we can drill down. So this functionality looks fine, absolutely. There is no problem. So you can use drill up and drill down as well. But the major problem that we are foreseeing over here is, if you have more countries of operation, then look at this donut chart, it is already overwhelmed. So giving more data into this, you will not be able to see all the data properly. So that is where we need to bring some custom visuals sometimes, right? So this is one of such cases where we think that we might be requiring the help of a custom visual. Okay, so now what happens is, how do we bring in the custom visual? And by the way, which custom visual are we bringing over here? So actually what we wanted is these kind of data, and where we have this small segments. So this is, I mean, a kind of a zoom chart will help you in a bigger way, right? So what we will do is, we will plan and see how to bring in a zoom factor on this particular data. Let's see this. So to bring in the zoom, what we will do is, we will be going to this 3 dots in the visualization section. So this dot is to go to the marketplace of visuals. So we go to more visuals. So it will open up the entire list of visuals that are available to us for doing this kind of, data analysis, right? So we have hundreds of visuals over here. So, you can always click on this and then explore, and then keep one thing in mind. This is data and you are working with data, right? The first point. You should get the confidence that, okay, see, only when whatever you are doing right now, we have already explored the data understanding we have. The only thing that we are doing right now is to weave the story. And when we are weaving the story, it should make sense to the audience. That's what we are trying in this. So just, never fail to experiment. Never fail to experiment. After experimenting, you might fail. That's a different story altogether. But don't hesitate to do experiments. Now just imagine, just bear in mind these things. What will happen if you select this force directed graph and try to put this country? What will happen? It will not work. Forget it. Close the deal. Close that graphics. Bring something else. but at least try. Right, so everything and anything and everything searching, I rather suggest that the time that you will spend in searching, I mean, you have the basic idea. After that, the time that you will spend to search it on, let's say, YouTube or some other social media platforms or wherever it is, by the time you can learn this of your own. And once you learn it of your own, you will never forget. So take some help from all these, learning medias and everything. But then you should always go ahead and experiment things. We need to keep just one thing in mind. Nothing will happen. Your computer will not crash. Your data will not get deleted. Nothing will happen. It's a very safe and secure application which is used majorly to tell stories. That's it. So just keep this thing in mind and you will be able to get things to the next level. So here we are looking for some Zoom, something related to Zoom. So what happens, Zoom is actually, a brand, Zoom Charts we can call it. And then you can see that, okay, we have so many of them. So many Zoom charts are available. And what we are going to do is, we are not going to use any pro version right now. So we will just look at the advanced donut chart and simply we say add. So this is a free visual, and the moment you import, you will see that it comes over here in this particular section which says drill down donut chart by Zoom chart. Now what you do is you just copy and paste this, make a copy of this, bring it over here. So just to give this look, that's it. And what happens is you go to the second one and simply convert it into a Zoom chart. That's it. And then what you do is you restrict the talking to each other concept. I'll show you what I mean. If you click on US, what happens is that this also segregates to US. If you want, you can restrict this as well. So now what happens is here, if you click on, so there is no concept of drill down over here. If you click on US, it takes you to the next level of product categories. And if you want to come back, you can come back like this. If you click on US over here, it gives you this particular format. Like this. So both of them are talking. So if you say that when I click on this, this should not change, but when I click on this, this should change. That is absolutely purely possible. So what you need to do is you just you click on the chart, go to format, and there is an option called edit interactions. This is again a very important section. So you come to this part and say that I don't need this to talk to me. So what I can do is I can just click on this option, say none. So now it will not talk. So now if you just go out of edit interaction, you click on US, it will still stay there. Even if you just say drill down, it will still stay there. However, when you click on Germany, you will see that it converts. It goes to right. So you can just check over here. If you click on Germany, it will select Germany over here. So one side it is talking and one side it is not. So now coming back to this particular chart. So if you look at this particular chart, so let's say just to give a different aesthetics look, we are showcasing this. So this is a classic example of a custom visual. Let's try and understand what is happening over here. So this particular chart is similar to this chart. The only difference, and if you really want to make it similar, I will just show it to you. This ring actually, so there is something called this shapes, and you can see the ring. So this ring can be adjusted, and you can see that I can take this to, let's say, 40 radius, and it will look almost similar. The difference is that because it has to accommodate all these details, it is showcasing like this. Here what is happening is it has a scope to use the lines here and there. I mean the curved lines. Here it is a straight kind of a line, angle line. So it takes more space like this. And I mean the padding and all these things are given like this. Here it can adjust itself also. Here it cannot adjust if you see like this. Now anyway, let's come to this particular custom visual. So custom visual, what it is showing is that here also it is showing the same data, but here what is happening is it is showing that okay, I am able to show you 95% of the data, but I am not able to show you 4% of the data. So would you like to show this 4% of the data? So you say yes, and it goes inside. When it goes inside, you will see that it is able to show you the 4% of that, I mean as a zoom, and it also says that if you want, you can go back to your 95.5% as well. So you can click and then go. These are some of the features, I mean application wise, you will hardly find any kind of materials, right? So it is all because of the projects and the type of involvements that we show in different areas. That is where we know what is the best for people like you to go through these particular what you call the course modules. Okay, so this is one example. So what you can do is you can always have multiple. So suppose this is talking about ship, country and category name. So under category name, see, you can always go back to the product name also and look at this. So we say Germany. Under Germany, we are going to, let's say, beverages. Under beverages, it is now showing all the products that Germany is consuming in terms of beverages. So you can see here, automatically it has highlighted Germany, and under that it has highlighted the section of beverages, and we are talking about this product. So this is how both of them can interact with each other. Like this, we are back. So this was regarding the custom visual for donut. We will move to various custom visuals as we proceed into the sections. Let's take it one by one. So then comes the concept of conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is also an integral part of Power BI, and we'll see how to apply slicing and dicing along with conditional formatting, and how do we synchronize slices. So these all things we are going to now see within the same data. So now what we do is we go back to our data and we take up another section. We say just a duplicate, and this time what we call it as, let's say, tabular analysis. So this is nothing but tabular analysis. We remove this part and we have a clear place for performing or bringing up a table. So we bring up a table and we have options. I mean, we have table and we have matrix. So matrix, when you require matrix when you have, let's say, data in rows and columns, both the things, right? Okay, so suppose here I want to bring back my summary data. So this was looking nice, so I have some space over here in the tabular data because it might not require so much of space. So I am just bringing that same thing. So see how easy it is. It is just like making up your PPT, right? Something like this. And then what you do is you bring up your visual like this. So this is the matrix that we are bringing, and I mean what we can do is we can bring in the product categories, and we can bring in the customers and all these details in the rows and the columns. So let's begin this. And we have the product categories. So we bring in categories in the columns. We bring in the total revenue as the values, and we bring in the options of the rows, you can say, as let's say the I can either bring in the customers or I can bring in the countries. So we can have customer country or ship country or supplier country or something like this. So this is how a typical data would look like, a matrix would look like. Now what you can do is you can just do some kind of style and something like this. And then what you can do is, it is just better to have different types of options you can bring in over here, like this. So this could be, but this is a very different type of look and feel. So this look and feel is fine. Let's say you make it a bit like this and make it a bit like this, and you see that you have got a full data, the place to store your data. Usually the total can still be here, and then we can increase this, because you will have the shipping country, which is almost let's say the left hand side, we can see it over here. Now what we do is we go back to the formatting option, and then what we do is we go to this option called conditional formatting, and you can see that conditional formatting based on the revenue that it is showing. So we have only the revenue, and we have options to bring in the background color, font color, data bars. These are all related to Excel. So as I told you, this is a combination of Excel, Access and PowerPoint. So you can see the look and feel of Excel over here. So you say, I need background color. So automatically what happens is the entire place is filled with colors based on the depth of the data or the volume of the data. Then what you do is you go to advanced control, and then you see that it is a color scale, and the color scale over here, and then we say that okay, we have custom value, lowest value, all these things, and we say that okay, I want diverging data, and the highest value should have let's say a green color patch. So I'm just bringing a light green. This part is yellow, and this part maybe I will just bring in some other section color, some light color. And by default what I can do is I can say okay, and you can see most of the sections have the lowest color. So what you can do is you can just make it a bit lighter instead of just bringing it something like this. And one thing what you can do is we say don't format the zeros, and now you see the magic, what happens. So it is a bit lighter on the note, and green you can immediately find out that these are the high values, and it is so easy to understand from here. And then you can see that Norway and Portugal, we do not send, or they don't consume from us, or we do not supply grains and cereals. So easy. And if you talk about Argentina, they are not consuming more meat and poultry from us, like this. So easy to understand the data just by using a conditional formatting, right? So this is one exercise we wanted to do. Now associated with this, there is something very interesting. So right now, let's say I am talking about data, and we have beverages and condiments and all these details. So suppose I don't want all these details, I just want beverages and seafood. So what I will do, I will click on beverages, and then I will press the control key and I can click seafood. So I will be able to see only those two columns over here. Now there are almost around 5 to 6 pages that we have created for this particular report. So we have this. We then go to summary page, but we see that the beverages and seafoods are not selected over here. We go to analysis page, and there also we don't see it selected over here. So and the third page has got it selected. If you go to even DAXing also, or even you go to new DAXing also, that is also not selected. So now in one nutshell, what we wanted is that these all slicers should synchronize among each other. So in that case, what we do is we will go back to the page, which is any page of this summary page or the tabular index page. So what we can do is we can click it outside, go to summary, and then click on the slicer, and then what we do is we go to view, and there's an option called sync slicers. Immediately you can see that the same slicer is a part of 4 pages: summary, analysis, tabular analysis, and DAXing. So it is visible in 4 of these places. The same slicer is visible. However, they are not synchronized among each other. Synchronized means if you take one page, if you select on one page, automatically it should affect in all other pages. So something like this. So now what happens is you go to, let's say I have this as summary. So I want that anything that happens in the summary should also be synchronized to analysis and tabular page, and I'm not looking at new DAXing. So this much work we have to do, and then you see the magic. So suppose I am in summary page and I select beverages. So automatically what happens, I am able to see the beverage details over here. Surprisingly, when we go to analysis, I should be able to see the beverages selected over here, and you can see everything related to beverage. Going forward, you go to tabular analysis, you will see that beverage is also selected over here. But when you go to DAXing page, or when you go to new DAXing page, it is not selected. So it is not selected. So based on whatever we have clicked, based on that it is showcasing. Now suppose I go to tabular analysis and I wanted to select grains and I wanted to select seafood. So I press the control key and I select them. Amazing feature of synchronization slicers. You go to analysis and then you see all of them are selected. And you go to summary page, you see all of them are selected. So this is a very, very important and interesting feature of Power BI to synchronize the slicers. So let's move forward. So we are now talking about creating some kind of tiles onto a dashboard. So we have seen certain things, and we will see how to configure the data and alerts and other things. And also we will be looking into the Q&A feature. So adding a report and theme. So now what we need to do is we will have to go to the space wherein we will be putting this report to a cloud service and the dashboard, and then we will see how to increase and enhance the usability of it. Okay, and then we will have the bookmarks over here. So let's go one by one. So we'll see how to create, see dashboards and tiles, they are a part of the cloud section actually. So clouds have got dashboards and we can create. However, in your reports also there are options to create the tiles right away from here. So as we have created these tiles, this can go directly to the cloud service also. Or what we can do is we can bring in some other components so that it can be easily transported to the cloud service. So let's do something. So most of these parts, so we have got one data point, two data point, three data point, and here what we call it as smart analysis. We remove this and we bring in a simple column visual and column chart. And this time we will bring in definitely the revenue. We will bring in the revenue over here, and you can see, I mean, and we can bring in the data labels. The data label is here, and we can bring in the calendar. So it brings in something like this. So smart analysis says that, I mean, suppose we bring in the shadow and increase the transparency like this, like this. So smart analysis just tries to put some meaning to, I mean, the visuals where it is majorly related to the dates. So here also you can see that majorly it is related to dates. So here we say that, okay, we have 1996, 1997, 1998. Now if I just give you this data and say that, okay, can you give some inferences out of this data? So what you will see there, so this is a kind of a dashboard tile that we are making. So when we publish it now, so you will see that how it positions itself in the cloud segment as well. So now what happens is we say that, I mean, just by seeing this chart, it looks like 1996, the business was not so good. 1997, it picked up, and 1998, again, we did not do well. This is the general assumption, general, I mean, analysis that you can give just by looking at this particular chart. Now, what we say is, we say something very interesting over here. We say that if I just want to see what has happened in 1997, what you can do is we can just right click over here and say drill down, because we see that the data has got a hierarchy, year, quarter, month and day. So it will go to all these places. And we see that, okay, it has gone inside, and then we say that right click and again say drill down, and we are now inside the month. So from year 1997, now we are into quarter, under quarter, last quarter we see October. So now under October, we go to drill down and see, okay, in October, so the highest revenue that we got was on 3rd of October. So this is one type of understanding the data. Now here I'm not able to analyze it from the perspective of what has happened overall to the organization. And I was thinking, I was an impression that 1997 we did good, and 1996 not so good, and 1998 also not so good. So now we see the perspective changes. We go up, and we have the year format. So now there are two types of visuals or the visualizations that we see over here. The first type of visualization is that, can we go deeper into this? So we say we have this one level hierarchy, and now we see that, okay, we have data from 1996 quarter 3 and quarter 4, but we have full data quarter 1 to quarter 4 for 1997. Now what we do is we go to the next level and see something very unusual. So we can see that the data only started pouring in from July quarter 3 1996. So which means that we do not have half of the year's data. So first 6 months of 1996 is not covered in this analysis. So hence, giving an understanding that okay, 1996 was not good, 97 was good or something like this is not correct unless and until you go deeper into this particular data. So that's where we need to manage the tiles and then develop our reports so that it readily goes to the dashboard level when we publish. Now what we do is we have saved this and we go and take a look at where do we publish this data. So the first thing that we need to do is we say workspace and we say create a workspace, and here we say masterclass available, and we say this is the workspace to publish all master class related reports, something like this, and you can very well go and say save. So there is a workspace, so you can see there are many workspaces over here and master classes created over here. Now what we do is we go here and say we need to go to home and say we need to publish this. So when you say publish, so you should see the master class somewhere, or you can search also. So you can see master class is here, and then you click on this option called select, and it should take some time. Go to module 6 ERP data visual file Power BI. It will now be transported to the Power BI service, and let's see how it looks like when it gets published. So it might take few seconds or a minute or few minutes to get published based on the data, and you can see it says got it. Now what I do is I go back to my place, a workspace, and I see that it is already here. Now what I can do is I can just click and I can see that the tiles are already visible over here. So these are the tiles that you can see. They can be readily converted to dashboards as required. So let's take an example. If you talk about this visual, you can pin this visual and you can say masterclass dashboard, and you simply say pin, and you are able to see the dashboard as a tile, and you can manage these tiles as you want. So you can go here, same goes here, pin here, go to dashboard, and then you can actually manage them. So you can say that it should come here, it should come here, or new tiles should come up the top. So all these things are possible once you have got the data in place, right? So let's work towards the next section. So now we know the journey from the desktop version to the cloud version. We will now have an understanding of, let's say, if you have any kind of data which you are placing over here. So you have a feature to get the alerts using just by saying subscription. So what you can do is you can just create a subscription, and you can say create a subscription, and you can bring in people. So suppose you can say that okay, I want this to be subscribed. So they will receive an alert, they will receive an attachment whenever this data is getting updated. So this is how. So if you just say run now, so automatically this will create an email and it will be sent as a report page like this. You can schedule this. I mean, if at what time you want, daily or weekly or monthly, these all things. So we will come to that particular concept, but here what is happening is you are able to see. So whenever you say that this is my daily report, so it will create an alert for this, and then you will be able to see it in the email box itself. So you can save and close this as well, like this. So if there are free users within my domain, they will not be able to get this report. So something like this. Now what happens is we are going to see two back-to-back features. Based on one is based on the Q&A, and we will talk about the theme, and we will see how to pin a dashboard and then enrich the usability and then configure the bookmarks. So these are the things that we are going to see one by one in this. So very simple examples. So first let's try the Q&A. So we are in our report, and then what we do is we go back to this option called a single page, and when here what we do is we simply say Q&A. So Q&A is a feature through which you can bring in a particular visual and ask questions. So here what happens is you go to this option called Q&A, and it appears over here as a visual, and then you can just call it something like this: show total revenue, and you can see that it understands the total revenue and then brings in the data over here. So which means that directly using the power of this visual, you could create a chart or a tile or something like this. So you can say show total orders. So you can see total orders, and it shows the total orders. Similarly, what you can do is you can also bring in some other capabilities over here as well. So you can say that, okay, I might want to just see show customers by city. So you can see it just brings in a table, something like this. So instantly it creates a table for you. Then you say that, okay, you bring it over here, and then you say show revenue. So it understands I was not able to type properly. Show total revenue, and you say by country. So even if I have just said Y instead of by, it understands. And then we say as map. So automatically it converts this into a map, something like this. So this is how the data pours in over here, and most of the cases you will see that we are able to tag this to the cloud directly. So suppose I have made these changes, what I can do is I can save this and I can just publish it, and it will go directly to the cloud. But before moving to that cloud option, I would like to showcase with you one example which is very important, and that is related to the bookmarks. So suppose I have this 4-5 options, and I just wanted to have a small concept of bookmarks over here. So it's very simple. We just can go to insert and say buttons, and you will see there is an option called bookmark, and you will see that it creates a bookmark over here. The option is very simple. So what you can do is you can just try some text over here, and here you can say that take me to tabular analysis, something like this in the middle. And then if you want, you can just change colors, text, size and all these things, and this becomes a bookmark. This becomes a bookmark, just kind of a button. We copy and paste and we say that okay, let me show you that it can go to my Q&A. And then finally, let's say I take this and say another one, and this one I call it as, let's say I wanted to take it as smart analysis. Similarly, you can create bookmark for each and every location, each and every section, and usually I prefer to give it as a shadow, and if you want, you can just bring in some color over here, some nice colors. So something like this. And then what happens is you have to connect this to the sections. I mean, suppose, so the only thing that we need to do is we need to just, two things. First of all, we need to assign these as bookmark names. How it works absolutely is, we have got a feature wherein we can tag this to a particular page. So we tag it to a particular page, and those pages should be named, and here we will just create a connection with the buttons. That's how it works. So the first task, you have just made the buttons, and they are not connected anyways. So what you need to do is go to the first page, and then what you need to do is you go to modeling and go to the view option, the view menu, and go to bookmarks, and then keep on adding the bookmarks. So you say this is bookmark number 1. So the idea is you need to click on that particular page and then add it as a bookmark. That's it. You go to summary and say add, and this you call it as summary. Similarly, you go to analysis and say add and call it as analysis. Then you go to the tabular page, say add, and then you call it as tabular. Then you go here and say add, and then you call it as smart. And then you have this Q&A and say Q&A, and you can name it as Q&A. If you want, you can just call it as DAX 1 and DAX 2. So it's better to give something like this. So all of the names are there. Now it's just a matter of clicks. So you just click on the first one and go to this option called action, and then you say that okay, if I click on tabular analysis, it should go to tabular. That's it. You go to Q&A and you say bookmark and you press Q&A. Smart analysis, you go to bookmark and say smart. That's it. Now what you need to do is you go to summary page, and somewhere you have to create a small button, which is an insert button, and just make something like this, a back button or something, very, very small in size. No background needed. Something like this. You can just create a back button, and then you can point all of them to the splash screen. And then what you can do, you can copy this, go to the analysis page and paste this, go to the tabular page, because this is a common bookmark. So you can just go to each and every page. Right, and definitely on the Q&A page. So you have created the bookmarks for all the pages. Now, so when you suppose if you are in here and if you want to go to tabular analysis, because we are in a desktop mode, so what we need to do is we need to press the control key and then press tabular analysis, and it should take you to tabular analysis. If you click on back, it should take you to back. Q&A, press the control, smart analysis. So the bookmark works absolutely fine. Moving on to the theme structure. So themes are very easy. I mean, it is like you just need to select that, okay, what theme suits your case study or something. By default, it will be the regular theme that you see over here. Here, what you need to do is you need to just go to theme, and suppose I like this frontier theme. So what will happen? It will just create all the required changes into your data. So here, let's say it becomes too big for me to handle, because it has got its own font and size and everything. It will override all these things. So suppose this part I am clear. If you go to summary now, you will see that the look and feel has completely changed and it's giving a very beautiful look. If you go to analysis, see, it has changed. So one click and you can see everything has changed. It is looking so nice and trendy, and the entire sheet has got a new look. Entire report has got a new look. It is just like the theme. We have different themes. I mean, you can try and then check which theme works for you. But this is one of the biggest examples and great example to develop a report with the visual before we move on to the cloud section of it. So now we know the Q&A and how to add a theme, and finally what we will do is we will see how to pin a live report page to a dashboard and enrich the usability. So mainly enrich usability means these are the matrices, the effectiveness and the efficiency and the satisfaction. So when you looking at the dashboard, it should give you a complete feeling of that, okay, I have all the data with me, right? So you can see the tasks, you can see every error that you are developing or every error that you are seeing in the report should be tracked and mentioned properly, right? And bookmarks we have already seen. So let's have a look at that. Okay, if I now go to this particular report and then finally I am publishing it once again. So what happens now? So if I click on masterclass and if I select, so it will say that, okay, this report is already there and there will be one report and one dashboard which will get replaced. So I say okay. So automatically everything will get replaced over there. Now if you have data which has many things in one place and you want the entire entire report to be pinned as a dashboard, that is also possible. So we are going to see now that particular feature through our demo over here. Let's have a quick look at it. So we have added more visuals. That's why it might take some time to publish it. And what will happen is once it is published, it will say that, okay, because it has replaced the other components also, and it is saying that it is done. Now what we do is we go back to our report. We go to our report and you can see that it is report is also there and database is also there. So now the theme has already been applied over here, as you can see. Now let's take an example. We have this summary page, which is absolutely fine, but considering this particular page, I want this entire page to be there. So in that case, what you can do is you can directly pin this particular page. I mean, you don't have to take them one by one. You can just say pin to dashboard and the entire thing can go to the dashboard, and you can say pin live. And if you now go to the dashboard, you will see that the entire page is live over here. So it gives you an accessibility and like this. So when you like this, so you can see, but the only thing that you need to understand is that when you, I mean, this is kind of a visual which will allow only to slice and dice on this page. You cannot go drill down over here, right? So that we need to be aware of. For that you have to go to the report page always. So certain things will not work. This back button and the drill down button and all these things will not be working over here. This is the very minimalistic approach of seeing a dashboard as a view in a tile. And then what we can do is we can manage these tiles also. So we can say suppose if you want to increase, we can increase this. So we can see now a complete report. Similarly, what you can do is you can just bring in some other tiles and reports as well. So if you go to smart analysis, we have got this entire thing. If you go to our analysis page, we have just got this particular data. And if you talk about this particular page, so then also you can just, after the main unit, what you can do is you can bring in this particular data, which is to cover the entire, let's say, the revenue by year and quarter and month. And then you can do all kind of so go to dashboard and now you can see it is visible. So what you can do is you can just make it like this. So it gives you a complete feasibility to I mean, view all the data in one place and then work on the data. I mean, this is like just as a static view, you can say, just as you go, you look into this particular data. So that was it from the section, this module part 2 of it, and hope you got some good understanding of how visualizations in Power BI works. Thank you.